I feel like I've written this script at least a dozen times because I'm always circling around this particular pain, trying to sort it out so I can heal it, but if I can't pinpoint it, I can't heal it. You were never a real Christian. I've talked about this before, how I have never considered myself a real Christian, though I grew up in fundamentalist churches, going multiple times a week, loving Jesus, believing all of it, desperate for salvation, trying to give my whole heart and more to this God who I desperately wanted to love me back. But I never experienced the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, and I'm not the kind of person who would ever lie about something that important. About a month or so ago, real time, someone in the comments section was doing their darndest to bring me to Jesus, and amongst all the Christobabble, they said something that stopped me cold. They said only a select few ever experience the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, and my brain went, wait, what? Unpack that. And they very graciously did. After reading through their answer a few times just to make sure that the words said what I thought they said, I trotted over to my teeny tiny little Facebook ex-evangelical group and I was like, you know what someone on YouTube just told me? And the response was, wait, what? You mean to tell us that entire denominations of Christians do not believe in the necessity of the indwelling of the Holy Spirit before baptism, and we could have just gotten baptized and not had to deal with the bullying, social stigma, family tensions, guilt, shunning, and abuse? We could have literally just gotten baptized and been members of a Christian community? I asked the YouTube commenter what denomination they were, but they never answered. I looked it up, and yeah, it's mostly not fundamentalists. The belief ship sailed away a few decades ago, but if not for a trick of geography, I may never have internalized the idea that God hated me and rejected me as a child for being essayed, or that I was evil for seeing ghosts. I could have just done the water thing and been part of a church community instead of a perpetual outsider. That's a rough realization, friends. And then, on the heels of that, comes the knowledge that if we, as children, had been baptized in those other denominations, our home churches never would have accepted that as valid. They were cults, after all, and it's their way or the highway. They still would have said, you aren't a real Christian. We can't change the past, we can only move forward. If you don't like your church, find a different church. If you don't like your religion, find a different one. If you don't like religion, get rid of it and just live. Thank you for joining me on the Secular Scriptures. I will see you next Sunday at 9 a.m.